Henshin Inspection presents Writer Tears. This is MJ. I'm an author, I'm an artist, I'm an analyzer. Find all my work at mjmunoz.com. I will be discussing The Weak, the Strong, and the Secrets of Black Sun, Episode 3. I don't know if Anyway, I'm straying from my format slightly because, I don't know, this episode was weird and I reacted to it in an odd way, I think. So, the credits for this are that it's Kamen Rider Black Sun Episode 3. It originally aired or was starting to stream on October 27, 2022. The writer is still Izumi Takahashi, and the director is still Kazuya Shiraishi. Shiraishi, I love you, Shiraishi. You're only a day away. I offered for that to be the main theme of this show instead of Have You Seen the Sunrise, but they rejected it, probably for good reason. Anyway, starting off with the weak stuff in this episode, Kotaro is a very passive character in this show about him. I don't quite understand what's going on there. Next thing is, since this show is dark and edgy, why don't all the Gorgum kaijin who know where Kotaro lives just go there to kill him, like maybe while he sleeps? It should be super easy, barely an inconvenience. And then this show's not making the case for kaijin rights by showing us the activities of the highest level kaijin. I've seen a little bit of the discourse online here, or about the show, and it mostly just seems to be leftists saying that this show is pro violent insurrection, which I thought everybody in the United States was against violent insurrections, but I guess not. Or maybe, I don't know. I mean, obviously these people, this handful of people that I've seen are not representative of the, bulk of the United States. And I'm not saying I want a violent insurrection. In fact, I'm saying the opposite, even though I feel like we live in a very unjust world. But anyway, my point is, the kaijin are supposed to, or to me, I would think, at least the way the show presents itself, it wants the kaijin to be sympathetic characters. And in some instances, they are sympathetic characters, and they come off very well. However, that's the little guy kaijin versus the big boss kaijin. They're all pretty bad people. And, if I had known them, I could see why I would want them to all die too. And, that's like Kotaro's perspective. And even more so, you would think Nobuhiko, because they held him prisoner for 50 years, but I guess we'll get into that as we watch the rest of the show. So, moving on from there, that was the weak stuff. So the stuff that I think is not being done well in the show. Not necessarily is it good or evil, is it, nice or not nice, but is it effective is what matters from my perspective on this. So, that being said, I'm moving on to the strong, which is all the stuff that I think is being done well in this show. Aoi's optimism and positivity is a real light in the dark. Her not wanting to kill kaijin, just how to fight and escape them, is endearing, if not short-sighted. It's true to her character, though, and I like that. Seeing Shinosuke's parents at the march was sweet. It really shows them as ordinary people who are a family, and they just happen to be kaijin. I think that's really cool. It very much humanizes them, and it gives me a lot of sympathy for them, and it makes me think, yeah, these people definitely deserve to be left alone and be allowed to have their lives, as long as they're not, harming people, which they're obviously not. They're good people. Igaki is clearly a piece of work, and him trying to provoke kaijin is transparent and gross. Nice job portraying that, Team Black Sun. Kotaro using his hopper legs to jump off the floor to wail on Kijura was a fun bit of fight choreography. Very inventive. It's exactly what I want to see done with those grasshopper legs on his shoulders, upper back area. Very, very cool. I just dig that. Anyway, also, I made a pun. He was wailing on Kujira, which I think that means whale. So, wailing on whale. Never mind. I'm sorry. It's a dad joke, I guess. So, showing how evil the Dounami administration is delights me. These people are not your friends. They are playing on a whole different level than us. No matter what divides us, we are all... I really wrote this word super wrong, so I'm not sure what I was supposed to be. We are all... Oh, united. There we go. We are all united, no matter what divides us. Here we go. We are all united by being cattle... and or for them to harvest and mine for their benefit, through whatever means. We fight and they win. I mean, we fight each other and they win. The few elites feed on the masses, and we barely notice it as a collective. And, I'm saying I think that's a message, or the message, or it's definitely one of the messages in Kamen Rider Black Sun, and I think it's hideous, but it's true, and it's good that they're putting it out there, and it's just sad that some people seem to be missing that. So anyway, moving on to the secrets of Black Sun episode 3. Did that tape show kaijin, or the creation cane specifically being created 50 years ago or 70 years ago or whatever it was? Because that's what it really felt like to me. And then next thing from that tape, are kaijin a military bioweapon, a Japanese military bioweapon? Because again, that's what it looks like to me. And next question, how did Aoi's parents get mixed up with Oliver and all this pro kaijin rights stuff? Maybe, I mean, they look older, but they don't look 50 years older, so maybe they just grew up. I don't know. Oliver seemed to have talked to them, so if he's a kaijin, which I believe he is, even though we didn't see him or Yukari or like one or two of the guys transform. It was only Kotaro and Nobuhiko who transformed when they kidnapped young, was it Nanabobo? Young Dounami. And I wonder why that was. But anyway, yeah, maybe they just like got exposed to his teachings or philosophy or whatever as time went on, because they were, these activists, and they were in the movement, so they had, people who were old, protester hippie, Gorgum people from back in the day who they like and who they, follow and listen to the teachings or thoughts of. Anyway, maybe that's how they got mixed up with him, but or at least exposed his ideas. But then how did they get mixed up in like taking the King's Son and stuff? That's a deeper mystery that I'm sure we will get into. I have an edit to drop in here because I wasn't quite sure what to do about the show as far as like having a nice sharp angle to discuss, and a pointed question like what divides us, what unites us. That was the episodes 1 and 2. Episode 3 though, after listening to my review, or after making my review actually, I thought about it, and who has power is the question I want to ask. And it was actually because I was looking for a good thing to make a thumbnail with, and this show is not good for thumbnails, by the way. So just if you need to know the plight of a analyzer, YouTuber, whatever you want to call me, that's it. This show does not make for good thumbnails unless you want to do something totally out of context, or just like a girl's face, or just like a monster arm or something like that. Like, I don't know what to do, except, I want these to be meaningful, so they are meaningful to me. So the thumbnail I have is the Dounami grandson holding his shotgun that he says he wants to murder a kaijin with, which is gross. And then, like, he's being held by Kotaro in his Black Hopper form, or whatever, Black Sun, I don't know what to call it. And in the background, you see his girlfriend, who's a completely defenseless human who has no gun, being held onto by the mighty Shadow Moon. And the point is, the reason I picked this is because it's ugly. And it's, I'm asking the question, who has power? Because, I don't know, just something about this made me think about the art of war, and how Sun Tzu basically said, you never fight a battle on your enemy's terrain, you never fight a battle on your enemy's timing, you never fight a battle when you don't know that you're going to win, or you're not like very certain that you're going to win. So really, it's good strategy to send 2 kaijin and like 2 transformed powerful high level kaijin and like 4 other people to go sneak attack a practically useless, defenseless set of humans. Yes, they do have a shotgun there, which is a powerful weapon, a powerful tool. I think it's something people would be wise to use. And Kotaro, even in the episode, tells Aoi, or says to her, like, why don't you just get a gun? It'd be a lot easier. And she's like, well, I don't want to hurt kaijin. I don't want to kill them. I just want to defend myself from the bad ones, which is, understandable. I can't remember if I talked about that earlier or not, but here I am. But anyway, she kind of has a point. But like, there's something ugly or hideous about the use of force and the use of power in order to coerce people into doing what you want to do. And Dounami actually does this as well. These thugs and brutes kidnap his grandson or whatever, and they think they hold all these cards and that they're going to use him to get their rights secured. And instead they sell themselves out, and they turn their fellow kaijin into bioweapons and fodder for, heat heaven and stuff, which, yeah, we should know that by now. So like, they do the worst thing. They not only attack he's a detestable person, but he's technically innocent at this point. He's guilty of being a jerk face and saying that he's willing to kill kaijin or he can't wait to go murder them in the streets or whatever. We don't even know the full context of what he was saying, but regardless, for him being the grandson of Dounami and for him being a jerk, these kaijin radicals feel like it's justified to attack them, terrorize them, and, hold him captive. Then they're being nice to him as a captive. That's interesting. But then again, the high priests of Gorgum are willing to sell out their fellow kaijin, brothers and sisters, for the voting bloc, or, basically to secure and empower this imperialist force in Dounami who wants to expand Japan and make it an imperial nation again where they can go out and attack and expand their territory by doing that. And that's wrong. So, the highest echelons of Gorgum are going to support an imperialist, human, evil government so that they can get their rights secured to them, but they have to pay for the rights by being willing to sacrifice their people, and they stay in power to manage this arrangement in this machine. And it's really immoral and disgusting. And that's not being heroic. That's not wielding power in a beautiful way to save people. That's it's disgusting. It's slavery. It's everything wrong in the world. And I'm not saying that only bad people wield power. I'm more asking the question of what is power and who truly possesses it? Because if you are enslaving other people, yes, you're using force over them. And I don't know, maybe it's because philosophically I like the idea and I know of the idea that power is mastery over oneself. And that's not what these people are exhibiting, especially when Nobuhiko freaks out and starts kicking Dounami and at least he should die and all that stuff. That's not powerful. That's weak. It really is. I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't do the same thing, but just as an objective party, I'm calling that out as weakness, which it is. So, or it's lack of power, lack of control over the self. So, I don't know. I don't really know what I'm saying other than I want to point that out because that, as I was talking about the rest of the events of the show, that idea came to me, and it's, I don't know, it's kind of sad and sick and disgusting that these are our heroes. Kamen Rider Black has not only eaten people, Kamen Rider Black's son has not only eaten human in Heat, which he may have done accidentally, not knowing that Soylent Green is people, but he's also threatened a small girl, a young dumb woman who's with some schmuck that picked her up, looking to have a good time. Just, do you get what I'm saying? It'd be if you and 10 of your buddies went and beat up an old lady in a city because she owned a store and you wanted to break in there and steal. Oh wait, whoops, that's getting too real. Now I'm getting controversial. Anyway, I'm getting out of here. I'm going to toss it to myself to finish the episode, and see you around for Kamen Rider Black Sun episode 4, where I think they're going to go into an old folks home and beat up some people too. That's it. I have a score for this episode, 9 out of 10. Simple little, I don't know, review recap type thing to say to this, which is this world is getting uglier and more twisted. There's a lot that doesn't make sense. Why does Bilgenia serve Dounami when he wanted to murder him, or his dad or grandpa or whoever, when the Gorgum priests sold out to him back in 1972? And is the ugly truth why is this ugly truth of the whole thing why Kotaro withdrew and is just off by himself? And is that why he just wants kaijin to go away, even if that means they all die out because their hands aren't any cleaner than the humans? And I don't know, a kaijin could wreak more havoc than a human, so if they all just go away peacefully, maybe that's not the worst thing. And that's not me being pro-genocide. That's me saying, just what if they stop producing themselves, or whatever? What if they just what if at least the elites of the kaijin went away? I don't think that'd be so bad. You might have peace. Although I think the human elites would need to go away as well in order for that to really happen. So it's just it's an interesting, thought-provoking show, and I don't know. For story over everything, I do not have a lessons learned from Black Sun episode 3. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but it didn't happen before recording the review or the analysis of Black Sun 3. So, hey, there you are. But that's actually it. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Don Bros 36 and Geets episode 10 are going to be live this week. In fact, I already have them ready to be viewed. They're cued. They're cued, waiting to be viewed. And so am I. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. This is MJ. I leave you with peace and blessings. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, you can find more at mjmunoz.com, as well as my entire library of analysis, art, and fiction.